Assalamu alaikum students of grade 6. I am back with the online lecture 22nd of social studies, and we are studying history portion as we are done with the geography portion for the first term syllabus, and currently we are studying first chapter, that is Indus Valley Civilization. And today we are going to talk about the religion, trade system, economy, social system and agriculture of the Indus Valley Civilization. And it's 10th of July 2020 and Friday. So in our previous lecture we talked about the Indus Valley Civilization. I gave you introduction of the Indus Valley Civilization, that is the one that it's one of the oldest civilizations, and today we are going to talk about the Indus Valley Civilization again. So it's another part, you can say that. So let's get started. So let's talk about the religion of the Indus Valley Civilization. First of all, it's very difficult to describe their religion precisely, and there is little amount of information about the religious life of the Indus Valley people. So scientists got some information from their seals and statues. You can see from the slide as well, their seals and statues. They used to make seals and statues by their own, which revealed that the religion of the people of Indus Valley Civilization resembled present-day Hindu religion. But there is still no certainty, and they worshipped idols according to their seals and statues. Scientists got this, that they worship idols, and according to their seals and statues, scientists also came to know that their religion was made up of Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism. So some seals show animals which resembled the two gods according to Indian religion, that is Shiva and Rudra, and other seals depict a tree which the Indus Valley believed to be the tree of life. These beliefs are according to the Indian religion. One seal shows a figure sitting in a position that may be similar to a yoga pose and is brought to be an early representation of a Hindu god according to the Hindu religion. Of course, we being Muslims, we don't believe in these things all, but according to their religion, they used to believe in these things all. Another seal shows swastika. Swastikas were a sacred symbol for good luck. You can see it from your book as well, and right now from the slide as well. The swastika seal name has been mentioned in the slide. You can see and you can figure it out. So the Indus Valley people practiced a form of yoga and meditation, and I told you before, over here you can see the another seal showing the meditation and yoga pose. So they belong to the Indian culture. The scientists revealed that these seals reveal that their religion resembled the Indian religion. So the Indus Valley people also built bathhouses and practiced ritual bathing. So the Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro was probably a prototype of a sacred tank found mostly in ancient temples in southern India, where people may have performed important rituals for special occasions. So during the early days of their culture, the Indus people buried their dead. Afterwards, they conducted cremations and kept the ashes in urns. They may have believed in life after death, after the discovery of pottery items and ornaments in the burial grounds. Let's talk about the trade of the Indus Valley Civilization people. So girls and guys, when the archaeologists started exploring this place, many proofs regarding the Harappan culture and Indus Valley trade were found. Historians claim that this was the land of early development where trade and agricultural economy came into existence. With the rivers surrounding their area, the land was fertile and they used to cultivate many crops such as barley, wheat, melon, seeds, and oil crops like sesame, mustard, and dates. They were traded by farmers with the other people. Cotton was also cultivated and was traded to make cloth out of it, which was also marketed. The people of Indus Valley civilization knew how to make things from mud and clay. The city workers used to make pots, plates, and glasses out of mud and clay to sell them. The traders would bring the materials that workers need and collect the finished goods for trade. So unearthed ornaments and the accessories made out of seashells, pearls, and beads were also traded, and those were incredible. So the Indus Valley people used to trade with foreign lands traveling through seas. The seaports found in Harappan civilization state that they were not bound to their own territories. They had traded with Iran and Afghanistan for minerals, while lead and copper were exported from India, present day India. It was found that they also imported jade from China and cedar wood, which were all traded through rivers such as Sutlej, Ravi, and Indus. The handmade balance for weighing things was also developed at that time and used equal size and weight stones for measurements. These balances were used to trade the things. Get it? So in order to listen this again, I want you just pause my video over here and just replay the trade portion and just listen it again for your better understanding. So let's talk about their social system. So girls and guys, first of all, let me tell you, Indus Valley civilization was mainly an agrarian society, and an agrarian society means a agricultural society in any community whose economy is based on producing and maintaining crops and farmland. Okay, so they had also good trade relations with Mesopotamian and Chinese civilizations. Girls and guys, Mesopotamian and Chinese civilizations are one of the oldest civilizations, just like the Indus Valley civilization. So the cities were divided into two parts, which was one of the reasons scholars believe the society had a ruling class. Some scholars believe that there was a prosperous and powerful ruling class in the Indus cities who imposed their domination on the rest. All men of the cities and the nearby areas did not enjoy social and economic equality. Means the men did enjoy social and economic equality, so there wasn't the concept of equality, you can say that. So those who lived in the upper portion of the cities near the forts formed a ruling class. Clear? Okay, so women used to wear ornaments just to look pretty beautiful, and their seals show animals like cows, pigs, domestic fowls, cats and dogs, camels, and buffaloes. So it means the Indus Valley people had domesticated them. They had used them as a source of transportation and for the trade purposes. And they were also not warriors, as they were not involved in making lethal weapons. So girls and guys, as copper was rare back in time, so common men could hardly afford to possess copper weapons. The ruling class had a monopoly of the copper weapons by which they terrified the people and exploited the resources produced by them by fanning or by craft. So, in respect of the social life of the Indus people, it is suggested by scholars that there were strong family organizations among them. The craftsmen taught their skill in crafting to their children. The toys were used by children of the family. The large number of seals engraved with letters conveys the idea that there was good percentage of literacy among the Indus people. So the sanitary system, the drainage system also speak of their cleanliness and public hygiene. The seals and the statues, the images of their craftsmanship prove the artistic taste of the Indusmen. So let's talk about the farming methods of the people of the Indus Valley civilization. So they grew wheat, barley, pulses, peas, rice, sesame, linseed, and mustard. They also developed some new tools known as plough and was used to dig earth for planting the seeds and turning the soil. A method of irrigation was used due to less rainfall. They reared cattle, sheep, goat, and buffalo. Water and pastures were present around many sites. People collected fruits, fish, and hunted wild animals. Again, let me tell you, animals played a big role in the Indus civilization. They domesticated animals such as dog, cats, shorthorn buffaloes, pigs, camels, cow, chicken, sheep, goats, horses, donkeys, and elephants. You can see from the pictures as well. The elephants had a bit more of a vague description, so they might have been more used for their ivory. They mainly ate cows, but they ate more seafood such as fish and shellfish. So that's all for today's lecture. Today we talked about the social system, the religion of the Indus people. Then we talked about the economy, the agriculture, and the society. And of course, we also talked about the farming methods of the Indus people. So I want you all to have a little more search about their different systems in order to know more about them. So girls and guys, for assignment I have chosen some questions for you all, and this is gonna be very easier since you have heard the lecture, and I want you all to just pause my video and just replay the whole video in order to understand the concepts and things more clear and better. So first question for your assignment is, what do you know about the religion of the Indus people? So second question is, what were the routes followed by the people to reach Egypt according to historians? And the last question is gonna be, what do historians assume about the Indus people? And I'm hoping that you're gonna do these questions the best of all, and you guys are working hard for your online exams. As I always told you, I always tell you that your online exams are around the corner, and you're having a massive percentage of these online exams and quizzes and overall results. So I am hoping that you guys are gonna just rock it and take great care of yourself. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water because it's summertime. So Allah Hafiz.